for tuning into the channel. Today is a response to a comment. I had done a video sometime back about Nashville tuning, which I use on my banjo guitars, and kind of gave an explanation of it, but one of the viewers said, I'm really not getting this, I'm really not understanding it, but it's really quite simple. So I thought I would just do a quick explanation of how Nashville tuning works and then how it applies to the banjo guitar. So I'm going to start with a 12-string guitar because that's kind of the origin of Nashville tuning. When you play a 12-string guitar, the secret of the sound is the octave strings. In other words, I'll kind of zoom in here. As you can see, the strings are in pairs. There are the regular 6 strings, E, A, D, G, B, and E of a regular 6-string guitar. But on the top 4 strings, there is a smaller diameter string that is an octave higher. So instead of the low E, you get an octave higher. So when you play them together as a pair, you get those overtones. Here's the A string, and here's the octave on the A string. And then so on down to the D, there's the regular D string, and then here's the octave on the D string, and the G string has a real high, little chimey little note there. So when you play these together in a chord, you just get that real zing. Now, 12 strings are known for having tuning problems. They're a pain to deal with live or in the studio. They sound wonderful. I love 12 strings like crazy, but you spend half your life tuning one. In a sonic mix, like when you're in a recording studio, an acoustic guitar, a regular 6-string acoustic, takes up a lot of sonic space. There's really powerful mid-range, there's deep bass notes, there's high notes, a lot of overtones, and so if you've got a couple of guitars, you've got steel guitar, fiddle, keyboards, bass and stuff in the mix, well, the acoustic guitar can kind of overwhelm everything, not in volume, but in the amount of bandwidth in the space. If you think of a mix like a rainbow, right, from your violets and purples all the way up to the reds and stuff up on the other end of the spectrum, each color has its own space. So it kind of works that way with sound, right? The bass is going to occupy certain frequencies, the fiddle is going to occupy certain frequencies, a steel guitar is going to occupy certain frequencies, but the acoustic guitar, because of the frequency range of it, overlaps a lot of that range. So you either have to turn it down in the mix and then you just kind of lose the sparkle of the sound, or you have to EQ the life out of it so it sounds kind of tinny. So studio players in Nashville came up with an idea where they'd take a 12-string guitar and they took the regular octave strings off the sets, and then they would leave just the octave ones. And it gives a really chimey sound that sounds very jangly like a 12-string, but it's not as thick sonically. And it's not as thick sonically as a regular 6-string. And those high octaves really punch through, but they don't take up a lot of space in the mix. So a lot of the acoustic guitar parts you hear on Nashville recordings are in Nashville tuning. Let me switch guitars and I will show you what Nashville tuning on a guitar sounds like. So I have E, A, D, G, B, E. So if I play a G chord, wow, what a difference. C, D, A minor, E minor. So that's a very distinctive sound. It sounds really great in a mix, but it doesn't take up a lot of sonic space. There's not a lot of boomy low end you have to EQ out. The jangle of the high end cuts right on through. It sits in there nice with the cymbals, but doesn't get in the way of the steel guitar or the electric guitar or the piano. So a lot of rhythm guitar parts in Nashville are played on a guitar with Nashville tuning. Now this is a 12-string guitar because there's 12 tuners at the top, but you could take the octave string gauges from a 12-string guitar, and you could put them on a regular 6-string guitar, and you get the same effect. It sounds just the same. Be back in a second with a banjotar. Alright, so on this particular banjotar, I keep this instrument strung up in Nashville tuning. You can buy D'Addario string gauges that are right in this. You buy them as a package set, and they come in different gauges. So this is just a standard light or extra light. I'll show you the package at the end here of Nashville tuning strings. I like these because the tension is measured across them, where they feel very comfortable. I had kind of put together my own custom set there with mostly unwound strings, and I used that for quite some time. But then I found that I could just buy these strings straight up, and they're affordable and easy to get to, and the balance from string to string is very good. So same idea here. I have an E, A, D, G, B, E. So these are the high notes, the high octave notes off of a 12-string set, basically. So when I play them, they sound fantastic on a banjotar because you don't need that low end that's real bonky. I go bonk, bonk, bonk. And I do keep a banjotar in standard tuning, but I find I gravitate towards this a lot. When you finger pick this, it sounds fantastic. It sounds very much like a traditional banjo because you get these ringing kind of high notes and things. There's not that low end that's not normally present in a banjo, but you can use your regular chord voicings and they sound great. Now, one word of caution, not really caution, but just a little bit of advice. Notice I have a capo here. One of the things that you notice when you take a Nashville tuning set, the octave on the G string is just like on a regular 12-string guitar. It's a string that's tuned up really high and it's easy to break. Now, what I do is I tune the banjo down a whole step, and then I put on a capo to play in standard tuning. When I play along with one of my 12 strings, which I tune down, I just pull the capo off, and I can record tracks with it that way. But by tuning it down, it kind of makes the string tension very comfortable. Taking the scale length, basically from the bridge to the nut on a 6-string banjo, is about an inch longer than a guitar. And so that extra inch adds more string tension. So by tuning down that whole step, it kind of helps out a little bit. Now, my buddy here, Oscar Stern, shout out to Oscar, he always comments that you can get 6s and 7s, the string gauges for the G string. I have never seen these in any music store, but I suppose you could special order them. And then you can just tune this thing right on up to pitch in standard tuning without having to drop it and use a capo. And that's probably a good idea. I just tend to stick with the stuff that I can get either on Amazon or I can get at the music store whenever I need it, so I don't have to worry about having to custom order anything. But that's a great idea. So shout out to Oscar for that. So let me show the package and then I'll get out of here. Okay, so this is the package for the Nashville tuning strings. These are D'Addario nickel wound. Get them for electric guitar. If you're getting for the banjo, because you want the nickel strings, not the bronze wound or brass wound. Get the nickel wound electric guitar, Nashville tuning. It also says Nashville high strung tuning. That's another name for Nashville tuning. And the string gauges, if you're interested, and you can put them together from your own set, they're 10, 14, a 9, 12, 18, 26. That's from the highest string down to the lowest string. So 10, 14, 9, 12, 18, and 26. They're the EXL 150H, high strung, nickel wound. So I really recommend these. I don't get endorsed by D'Addario, but I just really enjoy the sound of these on my banjotars, and they make life pretty good with something that's easy to get to be able to replicate the sound and get a good consistent sound off of all of them. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you around next time. Bye.